It was the first toilet ever basically featured or mentioned in Star Wars. So.
Yeah, well, what's going on, guys? What, you think I only wear Stormtrooper helmets? And today we're going as the Scout Trooper, but you know, I'm just gonna take it off real quick.
As fun as it is to wear, it's not gonna make a whole lot of sense to wear it throughout this entire video.
Oh, it looks cool, huh?
So today what I wanted to do is first off just explain that I get questions all the time.
No, I don't think so.
Being those friends, the ones that are kind of in my head, they're like, hey, do you watch your own videos all the time, like by yourself in the basement? No.
Liar!
I mean, I do that sometimes, but I do like going back and watching some of my old videos because I've been going on over 7 years here making Star Wars animations.
Long time. A long time.
And it's fun to go back and just kind of watch and just see the differences, you know, whether it be the art style, the animation style, the writing, the jokes. And it's also really fun because it kind of helps stir some new ideas as well. You know, maybe I go back and look at one, I'm like, oh, there's such an obvious joke that I didn't see before.
I heard a joke today.
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe I can put that into a new video. So I thought it'd be fun if we just went back, just picked a random video and watched it together and get a reaction of like what I think of it and, you know, how things have changed from then to how they are now. And also maybe some of the behind the scenes things and stuff you may not have caught in the video to begin with. What? So again, we're just gonna pick a video at random, but before we get into that, I also wanna show today's video is sponsored by Cal Kestis. This is the one from the Star Destroyer Lego set. And so today, Cal Kestis, he volunteered to sponsor this video.
I'm still getting paid, right?
Well, yes, as we agreed, it's gonna be, I'm gonna give you some donuts, some Larry the Stormtrooper donuts. Don't worry about that. Cute little Grogu. Now, what was really interesting here is that every time I do an animation or am bringing in new characters, that I try to do something new, not just bring in the characters, but add a new layer or a new effect. And this right here with the eggs floating around, this was really fun for me to do because I want to just picture that scene of when Grogu finds the eggs and, you know, he wants to eat them, but I wasn't sure how to portray it. I was like, you know, in that first shot, you can see obviously he's standing on the side of it. But on this shot, you're actually basically as if you were inside that tank full of the eggs looking at Grogu. And with this shot, you know, again, just like almost like you're looking through the tube, that tank, and looking at Grogu, you know, kind of just admire the eggs. I just love that shot just because it was something I hadn't done before.
I don't think this has ever happened before.
What are you doing? Oh no, I know exactly what you're thinking. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. Kid, I'm warning you. Don't you dare open that lid the rest of the way. I mean it. If you even lift that lid just a little bit more, you open the lid.
So with this is a really nice pairing to say modern day parenting. And I think a lot of people, at least what I was thinking when I made this, was like a typical child and like a cookie jar. You know, they know they're not supposed to go into the cookie jar.
I can't help myself. I like good food.
But, you know, and some kids, they just have that attitude. They'll just do it in front of you and just see how far they can push that.
Don't you dare! If you put one fin on that boat!
And that's kind of where Grogu's going here. For the Mandalorian, he's just, like, he can't believe, like, what this kid's getting away with.
Are you crazy?
You know, he has force powers, and so I think obviously if he really wanted to, he can get anything he wants.
Okay. You know what? Just take him.
But it's just that random, you know, father-son, you know, duo of a kid trying to push their parents' buttons and see how far they can take it.
I can't believe it. You opened the lid. Do not think just because of your cuteness, I'm just gonna let this slide. Oh no.
And this was my idea of going into it, was just doing that slow build-up. Just every, you know, few seconds, he's pushing it further and further. He opens the lid, he puts his hand up, he puts his hand in the jar, and, you know, the Mandalorian just sit there just, like, he's just so mad.
I'm mad at your success.
No. You put your hand down right now. Kid, you better not do it. Don't you dare put your hand into that jar. If you put your hand in that jar, you're gonna ruin... You little... Oh, take your hand out of the jar right now. You leave those egg sacs alone. You hear me? Don't you dare touch those egg sacs. Take your hand out of the... What do you think you're doing? You put that down right now. Put that egg sac back in the wall.
And I didn't know what to call them because, I mean, they were obviously eggs. But also, one thing I just want to point out here real quick is the background. Now, this video was made about 4 years ago, and my choice of colors has changed. You know, through most of Star Wars, especially, you know, the original trilogy, it was just a lot of black and white, you know, gray, and it wasn't really colorful. And so I was really matching that, and I was trying to just have that perfect match with Star Wars. But as time's progressed, I've realized, you know, that's a little too bland. You know, even if it's the old trilogy, you need to add some color in there, and usually it's more of like a blue or purplish hue. So I've been adding that more into my newer animations. But again, it still works for this one, and that's sometimes why I look at these. You know, it might be fun to go back and update the background on these, or update, you know, the animation style. And I do that on some of my videos, but this one here, like I said, it's got more of that just solid kind of black and gray white background. And also in the background, if you could see, because it was kind of a running joke when The Mandalorian first came out, was that it was the first toilet ever basically featured or mentioned in Star Wars. So I made sure to put that in the background because I thought it was a funny little calling towards that.
Ew.
Water. Don't you even think? What are you doing now? Is that salt? Don't you dare salt that egg. You put that salt down right now. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop salting that egg right now. Oh my goodness, that is way too much salt. It's gonna taste so bitter now. What are you?
So an interesting part here too, just to stop real quick. So a lot of times, obviously when it comes to any video, I pre-write the script, I pre-write, you know, the layout and the dialogue of what's gonna happen.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
But every once in a while, as I'm in the middle of animating or whatever, a new thought pops in my head, and I think, oh, that would be so funny. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that to begin with. So the salt was actually something we're about halfway through the video now, and I was about halfway through making it, and I thought, oh, that would be funny. Like, what if we just threw in this element of, like, he's not just gonna take it, just swallow it like he does in the actual TV show. He's gonna take it, he's gonna salt it, he's gonna prepare it. It was all about just kind of amping up and just pushing the Mandalorian even further. And what I love too here is, if you guys notice that Grogu has no emotion on his face. Again, just that typical, you know, kind of stubborn little child who's just gonna like look you in the eye and be like, yep, this is happening.
Yep.
Doing now? You better not even think of cooking that egg, mister. Don't you start cooking that egg. Oh my goodness, you're actually cooking it. Kid, I cannot believe you right now. You're actually cooking it. What are you doing? Are you cooking it sunny side up? What do you think you're doing? We're a scrambled eggs family. Scrambled! Oh, no, don't you even. You put that egg sack down this instant. Don't you dare eat that egg. Oh my God!
And just like any artist, you know, music, you know, animation, video, whatever it is, you know, they put a little piece of themselves into it. Of course, it's not all revolved around them.
All eyes on me.
But in here, like, personally for me, I like scrambled eggs. I mean, I do like other types of eggs, sunny side up. I like any type of egg.
Just give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
But scrambled is definitely my go-to, so I thought it'd be funny if he was like, hey, we're a scrambled egg family. Like, you know, if you're gonna do this, at least do it right.
If you're gonna do something wrong, do it right.
No, don't you even. You put that egg sack down this instant. Don't you dare eat that egg. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it right now. If you take just one little bite of that egg sack, so help me. Baby Yoda.
He ate the sack.
I cannot believe you just did that. Oh, God.
All right, so two little calls right there. So he yells out Baby Yoda. And what was funny is because at that time, we did not know Grogu's name. So I made this video and he says, you know, Baby Yoda. And what's funny, if you go back and look at the comments, there's a lot of comments saying his name's Grogu, his name's Grogu. Because of course I made this video and then, like, I don't know, it was a few days after it was released that we finally got his name. And so tons of people were calling me out in the comments. They're like, he's not Baby Yoda, he's not Baby Yoda anymore. He's like, you can't use that name.
I was way off.
Kind of interesting. And then also right there, I think it's an obvious call if you did not catch it with the two little side aliens. And this is also another piece. I did not put this on the original script of having two little aliens and one of them says, oh, he ate the sack. And he says it in the way where it's an obvious call to Finding Nemo, where he says he touched the butt.
He touched the butt.
So these two little characters, I honestly whipped them up really fast. I did have the two like heads already made up for previous animations because I've used those types of aliens before, but I had to make it a look just a little bit more kitty, you know, with the eyes and just the perspective of the face. And then I drew just a really quick body just to have it on them. So I thought this would just be, again, this is just one of those things where I was still in the middle of making it. It was not in the original script, and then I added on later, and I thought it was really funny.
Oh, I cannot believe you just did that. Oh, God. What are you doing? Disgusting.
Yeah, and that last shot I think was probably some people's favorites, with just all those eggs just all in his mouth at once. And what's also really interesting here is, obviously, if you go back and look at all my old animations, very rarely do you actually see somebody with a face. Obviously, I love Star Wars, but what's really good with Star Wars is that there's a lot of masked characters.
Is the mask muffling my voice?
When I got into this, you know, making animations or starting this channel, I had no anticipation of making cartoons or anything like that. So I had very little skill. I knew very little bit about it. And so because of that, I didn't do animations with people with faces, because that's a lot more work, you know, with all the eye expressions and the mouth movements. And it was just gonna be way too much work for me, and I didn't even know how to do it. So because of that, very rarely did I ever have a character that actually had like a real face. They were all masked characters like Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, you know, Darth Revan, just stuff like that. And so obviously that's changed. I've introduced tons of characters, you know, with the facial expressions, the mouths, and with Grogu here, this was one of those first videos, because obviously he's not talking, but he does open a mouth and he does eat, you know, one of those eggs. And so with that, you know, it was kind of a small intro into starting to progress of making those types of style animation videos.
Life finds a way.
And so I do appreciate also everybody who does check out those videos, you know, old and new, because they do take a lot of work. So thank you again. I just want to make a quick call to thank all of you for that.
Thank you.
Let me know in the comments too what video you want to see broke down next. Again, this was just a very quick version. I'd like to break these down more and kind of go really step by step. Like I said, I love having that toilet in the background. A couple people caught it, I saw in the comments, just because it was kind of an ongoing joke on social media about the toilet being featured in Star Wars for the first time. And you know, I like going back, like I said, watching some of my old videos, just because it kind of helps create some new ideas, or going back and seeing you know, some old jokes and kind of inspire some new jokes for, you know, Mandalorian, Darth Maul, whatever the character might be. So again, let me know in the comments the next video you would like to see a breakdown on. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video, and don't forget that today's video was sponsored by Cal Kessis, so be sure to give him some love as well. And with that being said, be sure to look out for the next animations coming out very soon, and may the Force be with you all.